Kobbie Mainoo sends Manchester United clear message amid Man City transfer interest. Man United midfielder Kobbie Mainoo has been the subject of links with a move to Manchester City after his breakthrough season at Old Trafford, but has made his stance perfectly clear. Manchester United midfielder Kobbie Mainoo has sent a clear message about his adoration for the club amid links with Manchester City. Mainoo has enjoyed a breakthrough season with United, with his outstanding displays leading to the teenager earning his first England caps and becoming a potentially key player for the Three Lions at the upcoming Euros. This trajectory was earmarked for Mainoo during the summer, before his injury, when he impressed as part of Erik Ten Hag's side in pre-season. There were reports in November that rivals Man City could look to try and tempt Mainoo away from Old Trafford. However, when celebrating his 19th birthday on Friday, Mainoo demonstrated his long-standing love for the club. As a young child, Mainoo spent time in both clubs' academies, but men's sport understands that United have always been relaxed about City's interest in the midfielder. Posting on Instagram to mark his birthday, one of the photos showed a young Mainoo posing in a United shirt. The picture proves Mainoo is United through and through, something perhaps picked up on when it was spotted by club captain Bruno Fernandes, who also shared it on his Instagram story as he wished his young teammate a happy birthday. Mainoo has become an integral part of Ten Hag's team in a short space of time, starting the last 16 league games. United have opened talks to extend Mainoo's contract in recognition of his growing importance to the first team this season. The midfielder will receive a wage increase if he signs a new deal, but the Manchester Evening News understands all parties are relaxed about the situation and there is no rush to accelerate talks. The midfielder will be eager to end his breakout season with silverware. United are preparing to take on Coventry City in an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley on Sunday as the team look to improve on last year's runners-up medals. How Manchester United are changing their midfield from short-term to long-term. Erik Ten Hag's first Man United midfield provided short-term gains, but they are unlikely to be at the club for the long term. Erik Ten Hag refused to dwell on the past. Last season was last season, he said at a reporter's mention of the FA Cup final defeat to Manchester City. A few minutes later, he responded to a question on Casemiro by dwelling on last season. "I think we needed the 6 when I arrived here and last season Casemiro was fantastic," Ten Hag enthused. "I don't think he ever scored so many goals as well, but as a 6, a holding midfielder, a strategist, he was so important for the team. Casemiro was the difference in United qualifying for the Champions League. He nodded home in the League Cup final and got the ball rolling with another headed opener on the night United secured a top-4 finish against Chelsea. Marcus Rashford inevitably added the Sir Matt Busby statue to his trophy room, but Casemiro would have been as worthy a recipient." He and Ten Hag sat side by side in San Sebastian for a pre-match press conference and were kindred spirits. "After being in football for quite a while, despite the fact I am only 30, the obsession for winning, Ten Hag's obsession for winning is what surprised me the most," Casemiro confessed. Player and manager have suffered an acute case of second season syndrome. Casemiro is on his last legs and the FA Cup final could be his last dance in elite football. This season, he struggled with a bad injury he never had in his career, Ten Hag added on Friday. "But I know he is such a winner, see his career. All his career, he always won. Everywhere where he was there will be success and I trust he will give us also the success and I know he will need games, he will be better and I'm very confident about him. He is a fighter, that is why he also won big trophies, he's a big personality, he's a very important player and he will give us success." Casemiro has plodded through the campaign and suffered a muscular injury for the first time in his career. Privately, he blamed Ten Hag's intense training demands. Ten Hag claimed earlier this month United don't train too hard. Since returning to the starting lineup against Chelsea a fortnight ago, Casemiro has been playing by default. The other number 6 is Sofian Amrabat and his number is up. Amrabat has started once for United in the last 4 months. Mason Mount last started on November 1 and Christian Eriksen has lined up once this calendar year. Casemiro and Eriksen were United's first-choice midfield partnership last season and the pair provided considerable gains. But they were short-term and not long-term. There has been a swift changing of the guard with United's midfield technician. Kobbie Mainoo would have ousted Eriksen sooner had United not encountered a problem in Houston when the Real Madrid winger Rodrigo accidentally collided into his ankle in July. Mainoo and Eriksen have only started 3 times together, and the results have been mixed. United recovered from 2-0 down to beat Aston Villa 3-2 on Boxing Day, but 4 days later Mainoo was fatefully hooked at halftime with the game goalless at Nottingham Forest. Forest won and Tottenham dominated United in the 2-2 draw in January. I think that is the main reason, Ten Hag acknowledged when asked about Eriksen's lack of playing time, that Kobbie, his progress, so we have an extra option. He was so important for us in the 6 or 8 role, bringing creation to the team, brings composure in our possession game. That is the main reason Christian has less minutes than last year. Eriksen was born on Valentine's Day and is starting to wilt like a bunch of roses. He has played 21 times for United this term and only 11 have been as a starter. He started their first 11 games of last season. It was in Eriksen's 27th start in January when the human wrecking ball Andy Carroll bulldozed into him. Casemiro is 8 days younger than Eriksen, whose contract expires next year. Casemiro has 2 years remaining on his deal. United's most important playing recruit in the summer will be a new midfield partner for Mainoo. Mount's United career began next to Mainoo in Oslo during pre-season, and reuniting them against Sheffield United or Burnley next week would be worthwhile. Casemiro's return from nearly 3 months out coincided with Mainoo's first goal against Newport County in January, and he bettered that with his virtuoso winner against Wolves 3 days later. This is not the time for experiments, and Ten Hag remains as dependent on Casemiro as he is defensive of him. Whenever he has been fully fit, Casemiro has started this season. But he is not the player of last season. Manchester United receive a significant FFP windfall after shock transfer deal outcome. Borussia Dortmund are into the semi-finals of the Champions League, and Jadon Sancho's involvement has led to a financial bonus for Man United. Manchester United's financial fair play position has received a boost this week after Borussia Dortmund's qualification for the Champions League semi-finals triggered another payment as part of Jadon Sancho's loan deal. Dortmund paid an upfront fee of €3.5 million to take Sancho on loan in January, with a further €4 million in potential add-ons. A United source said a significant bonus has since been activated after their unlikely journey to the semi-finals of the Champions League. A further payment will be due if Dortmund get past Paris Saint-Germain in the last 4, and Sancho has played his part in their deep run into the competition. They have beaten PSV Eindhoven and Atletico Madrid since Sancho returned to his former club in January. The 24-year-old has started all 4 of those games, scoring in the second leg against PSV, and he played all but 4 minutes of the 2 legs against Atletico Madrid as he continues to recover his form after a difficult spell at Old Trafford. Sancho was banished from the first-team squad in September after taking to social media to dispute Erik Ten Hag's claim his absence from the matchday squad at Arsenal was down to poor performances in training, leading to his temporary exit in the January transfer window. The majority of Sancho's wages for the second half of the season have now been recovered by United, and they will be paid in full if all bonuses are achieved, in a deal that was negotiated by the club's Director of Football Negotiations Matt Hargreaves. Every bonus triggered as part of the deal is also boosting United's position when it comes to complying with financial fair play rules and the Premier League's stringent profit and sustainability rules. Sancho's loan deal with Dortmund expires on June 30th, and it is still expected that he will be sold this summer, but Dortmund have no option to make the move permanent, and all options remain